Who here still has nightmares from Courage the Cowardly Dog? Thankfully, I don't anymore, but when I was younger, that show terrified me. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the Top 10 Scary Courage the Cowardly Dog Theories Part 2. And if you haven't checked out Part 1 already, make sure you go ahead and check that one out as well, because it's a good video. And here's a quick little disclaimer, like I've mentioned before, but these are just theories. Sometimes they're way off, sometimes they've been disproven, but I tried to gather the best ones out there for you and share them with you. Starting off this countdown, we have the Spirit of the Harvest Moon. This demon appears in the episode titled House of Discontent. It is a floating, white glowing human head with all black eyes and a black mouth. He basically casts a spell in their house which causes a bunch of strange things to happen. It all escalates and Courage, Eustace, and Muriel almost melt to death. Now, this character isn't just in the Courage the Cowardly Dog show. It is actually a villain in the Goosebumps series. It was featured in the book More Tales to Give You Goosebumps. In this book, every harvest moon, the spirit goes around trying to find a human to latch onto. Jenny was staying at a cabin with her friend Tyler when she suspects he is the spirit's new host. Eventually, Tyler's dog fights him off, only for the dog to become the next host of the spirit. Well, some people are convinced that that dog mentioned in the book is Courage. I mean, the dog did protect Jenny by fighting off the spirit, just like how in the show, Courage is always protecting Muriel from spirits and creatures. So somehow they could just be the same dog. We have the hole in the tooth. Lots of fans continuously wonder why and how Courage has a massive hole in one of his teeth. Since there's no definite answer out there, people have taken it upon themselves to come up with their own explanation for it. One theory says that the hole was caused by Eustace trying to kill Courage. In the show, we can see that Eustace does not have a liking for Courage and is often very abusive towards him. People theorize that one day he was just fed up and took a gun and shot Courage, but all it did was leave a hole in his tooth and not actually hurt him. Other people think that he tortures Courage by tying a rope to his tooth and hanging him up by it when he misbehaves. Lastly, other people think that it's a result of bad hygiene. Maybe it symbolizes how they can't really afford to take him to the vet and get him proper medical attention. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below why you think he has a hole in his tooth. In our 8th spot, we have the monsters. Ever notice in the show that Courage's owners hardly fear the villains? Courage can sense their evilness and is spooked by their appearances. But Eustace and Muriel remain clueless and they hardly get frightened. Well, it could just be that it's because Eustace and Muriel are not actually humans. They may also be monsters disguised as humans. Seriously, like they've encountered some pretty terrifying creatures and they've been subject to torture, but it doesn't really freak them out that much. Almost as if it's normal to them, as if they aren't humans. Because if they were humans, then they definitely wouldn't act as cool as they do now. Like, I don't know about you, but I'd be freaking out if some random alien or weird type creature started visiting my house. But it's most likely that they're just old and senile. But the other theory is more fun. Making our way down the list at number 7, we have the simulation. Every day, poor Courage and his owners are subject to terrible events. Why is this? Well, there wouldn't be a show if there wasn't. But anyways, people think that they are actually living in a simulation. At the end of each day, it resets, and the same thing happens over and over again, just with slight variations, aka new villains. This theory was used to explain why some of the episodes don't line up, or they don't start where the previous one left off. It also explains how in one episode, Courage was shaved by Freaky Fred, and in the next episode, he just had all of his hair back. Or how Muriel can be possessed, and then the next time we see her, she acts like nothing happened. Or how Eustace and Muriel got turned into puppets, and the next episode, they were back in their human form. That's also why they are never shown to die. And if they do, then they would just be resurrected the next day when the simulation starts again. Making our way down the list at number 6, we have the Guardian Angel. This theory suggests that Muriel has sadly passed away and everything we see is from her living in limbo. Basically, limbo is the in-between of heaven and hell. So the theory starts by saying that one day she was struck and killed by a hit-and-run accident. I don't know how though, because there's barely anyone around where they live, but okay, let's just ignore that. Anyways, she is unaware that she has died and is now trapped in limbo. As a result, she goes on with her normal day. That's when she sees Courage as an abandoned puppy. Courage is actually there to help her fight off the evil spirits in limbo and help guide her to heaven. So in a way, he is her guardian angel, which is why we see him relentlessly protecting her. It also explains how dangerous things can happen to her, but she never dies. That's because she's already dead, so nothing can harm her. Only deter her from her final goal. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the abused dog. So I touched briefly on this in my last theory video, but basically I said that Courage is always scared from years of being tortured and abused by Eustace. In fact, it's said that he is shown to be pinkish and purple in color because he's actually covered in bruises. That's right, he's actually a normal colored dog, but because he has been hit and beat so many times, it's purple bruises all over his body. Now, I know in the last episode we finally get to see Courage's parents through flashbacks, and we see that they are the same color as him. But it could just be that Courage is convinced that this is his natural normal color and his parents are the same color as him. Who knows? I mean, I don't know how much this theory holds up, but it's pretty creative, but also dark and sad. In our 4th spot, we have Area 51. The events that the couple go through on a daily are definitely not normal. How come they're constantly being visited and tormented by different creatures daily? Well, people have theorized that they may live or around Area 51. Yes, I know that the show states that they live in a made-up place called Nowhere, Kansas. But it could just be a fake name that they use when they actually live in Area 51. I mean, both seem to be located in a barren-type desert. Maybe the monsters that they encounter are from the creatures escaping Area 51. In the show, we have also seen numerous aliens. In one episode, they are visited by an alien brain creature with 3 large tentacles and 2 bulging eyes. This visitor lands his ship just outside their home. In another episode, we see a different spaceship land at their home, which reveals a mutated alien named Theo. It could just be that 1, these aliens are visiting to try and rescue their other alien friends from Area 51, or 2, these aliens have escaped Area 51 and have fled to the next nearest location, Eustace and Mariel's home. In our 3rd spot, we have the Purgatory. This theory suggests that Courage is actually dead and is currently in Purgatory, where he has to be purified and absolved of his sins before he can go to heaven. Basically, Eustace's ongoing abuse to him is his punishment for some sort of crime he committed while being alive. Courage has to prove his worthiness in order to be sent to heaven. He does this by doing good deeds, like constantly protecting Muriel. Now let's look at the very last episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, which is Season 4, Episode 13. Part 2 of the episode is titled Perfect. In this episode, Courage is visited by the Perfectionist. Basically, she teaches him how to be perfect and gets mad whenever he does something that's not perfect according to her standards. Well, the theory suggests that the Perfectionist was trying to make him perfect, as that's the last step in order for him to get to heaven. Moving on to number 2, we have the post-apocalyptic world. Now, this theory seems to have been applied to almost every show, but it actually works quite well for this one. Basically, people have created the theory that this show takes place after something wiped out most of humanity. As a result, there are only a few human and animal survivors. But because of a radiation leak, it caused most of the surviving humans and animals to mutate. This could explain why most of the animals shown can talk and have odd features. For example, in the episode titled Farmer Hunter, Farmer Hunted, we see a family of deers. The father is wearing glasses while the mother deer is wearing a bonnet. Then the father is shown to stand on his hind legs, talk, and is capable of firing a laser gun. Definitely a more advanced species. At one point in the episode, Eustace even rips off the deer's antlers and puts it on his head, and the deer didn't even flinch in pain. This further emphasizes that they are indeed a mutated species. In the same episode, we see a white tiger that also stands on his hind legs, talks, and can do front flips. Nobody tell Joe. And of course, in the episode, we see a talking giant grizzly bear with red eyes and sharp teeth. Then take a look at Courage himself. He's a pinkish purple dog. So the animals that did survive mutated to this extent. Now the theory goes on by saying that the monsters are mutated people, such as Elisa and Elsa are twins that got fused together. Other humans are seen with more extreme features like a large oval head, like how the King of Flan has a large oval head, or how Freaky Fred has long, rectangular, giant teeth. The humans that have survived either live in isolation, like the Bags, or they are driven to insanity from living in a post-apocalyptic world. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Murderer. Eustace is definitely not the nicest man out there. In fact, people have theorized that he not only wants Courage dead, but his innocent wife Muriel as well. I mean, in the episode we see that Muriel constantly gets put into dangerous situations, like being kidnapped or attacked by monsters, but her husband rarely does. This could be because he's the one orchestrating all of these attacks, hoping that one will eventually kill his wife. In the episode titled Cat's Motel, Eustace, Muriel, and Courage spend the night at a motel. Eustace ties Courage up outside and goes directly to sleep. Meanwhile, Muriel is taking a bath and gets attacked by a giant spider. How did he sleep through this while Courage is all the way outside hearing her? He even tries to wake him up and he doesn't succeed. Well, it could just be that it was his plan all along. Now, Eustace constantly calls Courage a stupid dog. Well, that's probably because Courage always interferes with his plans and ends up saving his wife before she is killed. And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout-out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from my video, Top 10 Scary Movies to Watch While Stuck at Home. I'm here commented, I've seen all the Saw movies so many times. My mom was like, why do you keep watching them? It's all the same thing. I had to say that in like a mom voice. Honestly, I've seen a couple of the Saw movies and sometimes it gets to me with the gore. Woo, so I haven't seen them all. But you're brave, you have a strong stomach. Cute little cupcake love commented, oh hi, I'm early for once. Love you, Lindsay. Hi, cute little cupcake love. Now I want some cupcakes. Man, somebody send me cupcakes. What's your favorite cupcake flavor? Is it vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, red velvet? Let me know in the comments below. September Quest commented, a thumbs up for the lovely Lindsay. And what's funny is that only one person liked that comment. So, thanks guys. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you.